And it goes back to the whole blank slate thing.
Yeah.
You know, being a sponge, soaking up information and be open-minded, because everybody's good at different things. But again, if he wasn't open-minded, he would have sent you that script. Well, I think you need to change this. Well, no, it's good because I wrote it. You know, that's all.
The original Trent would have done it.
Would have did that. Yeah.
He would have called me and he would have been like, "What do you think about this?" And I would listen. I'd give him some feedback. He's like, "Whatever, I'm doing it anyway." Thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. I'm actually joined in studio by my special guest, joining us from I don't know where you're at. You're all over the place, but we got Trenton Meatball Miller.
Yeah, baby.
And then we got Casey Cheeseburger Jarratt.
Yeah.
We're talking about funny nicknames on Monday when we do an IG live on Mondays, and then we're just talking about nicknames. And mine was Al Butts because that's what the kids call it. Yeah. Because kids are cruel.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up too.
Which I mean, at this point, I think it's funny, but as a kid, I mean, I think it kind of bothered me. But
yeah, it's probably a little bit.
Yeah, but I got both of these gentlemen in the studio, and we're very happy to have them. They've been in here, putting out a bunch of content, working with Yoel and Sam, and just helping us out with our marketing and going through and just creating some educational stuff for people out there. Having a lot of fun so far. And the day is still young, so
yes, it is.
They're young.
We're going to get a lot more done after this. But I want to go over a couple of quick announcements on Monday. That's Monday, March 21st, here at the office. I mentioned that they were going to do a Dow Day boot camp with Erica Haynes, and there was something that was supposed to be for last Thursday. What was it, last Thursday? Okay, well, obviously I lied. Or they actually changed it up. So there was a scheduling conflict, so they had to move things, and they weren't able to come in that day. But they're actually moving it to Monday. Monday, Marissa Mazziotti, she is doing it's at 6 different locations. Erica will actually be here. People from other teams will be here in this location. So if you guys want to come in and dial and do a dial day together with them, they're going to go over training, how to buy leads, what type of leads to buy, how to call your leads. Everyone's going to be dialing together. So if you're anywhere in the Los Angeles area, come on in. We're here located in Gardena in Los Angeles County. Everyone is welcome. So come on in. Get your training. Or if you're just in a position where you feel like you need help dialing, because you're unmotivated, and you can obviously there's all the live dials you can hop on with the on dial days, and you've been getting on with Derek, and you guys been just doing this just you too, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about it, but if you just need to physically be in person with other people, we're having that here at the office all day. It's going to start at 7 a.m. in the morning, and we will be here all day. So bring your leads or be prepared to buy your leads. I think it'll be a great event. That's going to be all day. On breakfast will be served here too. So that's called the Road to 20 Families. All right. So you'll see some flyers. If you guys have additional questions or you want to get the flyer, reach out to one of us. We'll gladly send that over to you. And then on Tuesday, the following day after, that's March 22nd. We have my buddy Stephen Yee, the guy that everyone confuses me for. But him and Hall of Fame producer Colton Durr, they're both going to be visiting us here. So they have a couple meetings that they'll be running out here in Los Angeles. So they're going to stop by and visit. We're going to record some content. In addition, they're going to run a training from noon to 1. So anyone that's in the area, if you want to stick around for that, Steven is one of the best trainers in the company. I love listening to his trainings. You probably have heard a lot of his content if you guys get on YouTube. But he's gonna be in town. So for a lot of people, if you are coming to the training on Monday, and I think this kind of dovetails perfectly. If you're coming on a Monday and you're just trying to absorb some of the training, you do some dials. In addition, you can also come in on Tuesday because we'll be here all day if you want to come in and supplement whatever you weren't able to get done on Monday. And then we'll be here and we'll have some great training from 12 to 1, and then we'll go from there. So I think that's it for the.
It's so nice to kind of come back to that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like come back, like just even coming in here today.
Yeah.
Like how nice it is just to be around, like just roll around, like, make some calls, like just building that culture again, like in-person culture. Right. So I would say anybody who can do it. Like I'm 100% on board, 100% on board in that.
No, I'm actually, I totally agree with that because sometimes you've been in the business for a while and then, things kind of become like I wouldn't say easy, but comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And then you get around other people, and then you see like new agents, and you see like what they're working on, and what their challenges are, and then it kind of like puts you back in that position, and like
it makes you hungry again, dude.
Reinvigorates you.
Yeah, it really does, dude. You know, I feel like 3 inches taller since I got here.
which brings you up to now what?
5'2".
Okay. He's 5'2". You can't tell he's sitting down, but
yeah, I have no femurs.
But I also wanted to go over the brand new agents who submitted business for the first time. You know, obviously one of my favorite parts of this business. We have Isabella Shah, I think, another Asian name I messed up. Ashley Richardson, both working with Jason Khodadadian. So great job to you ladies. We have Yahira Romero working with James Miller. We have Samiria Bennett working with Helen Hilton Jones. Great job to you. We have Antoine Murphy working with Jordan Williams. Great job. And we got Stacey Williams working with Jason Collins. So great job to all of you guys that submitted business for the first time. You know, let's keep this thing rolling. Let's continue to get your leads, continue to go out there and help and serve more families, and let's continue to grow together.
Okay. Hell yeah, let's go.
All right. So I don't know if you guys know, and part of the reason I'm wearing this is it's warm, but
dude, you're sweating, dude.
It's St. Patrick. Well, the lights are hot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but it's St. Patrick's Day.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that till I got here.
Except you said that like 7 times before you came, and you're
I know. Someone told me on the plane.
Day.
Someone told me on the plane. The stewardess did. So sweet.
So obviously these guys are visiting us from out of town, and then we're gonna shoot some content. We'll may or may not grab a drink later.
Yeah. So
do you guys typically celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
So for me, I don't celebrate St. Patty's Day because that's like celebrating gout. It may not hurt all the time, but it's gonna hurt every now and then. Yeah. But I mean, it's cool. Like everyone, it's just another reason for everyone to get together. Like I'm all about like just getting together. Like my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Okay, I just like getting together with people, like having a good time, like having that. I love family's so important to me. I don't have a family, but like family to me doesn't have to be blood. So it's like being around people,
right,
just like-minded people too,
right,
you know. But St. Patty's Day, I don't celebrate it every time, you know. What about you, Casey?
Yeah,
you look like you do.
No, I haven't celebrated Patty's Day in a long time.
Last time we celebrated was my birthday, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Casey took a sleep on the couch that night after that one. So
this was last year.
This was what 2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah. 2 years ago, and still, when I go back to that same place we went to, the owner still says, "Jameson Pickleback." Yeah. He still said that to me for 2 years, you know.
Yeah,
it's all about getting together, man. Whatever holiday it is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's just another day, but you know, a lot of people make it a big deal, and I asked this question because, you know, when it comes to St. Patrick's Day, like how many people actually even know like the origin of it or why people celebrate it?
No idea. I have no idea. No. I'm assuming someone found like a pot of gold. It's like I feel like that's the only. I have no. What is it though? Do you know it?
Well, it's supposed to be. It's in honor of the Saint Patrick. You know, so he went back and he spread Christianity, or he was able to evangelize and share Christianity with much of Northern Ireland. So he converted thousands of people. So I just, yeah, I mean,
Albert, you 1000% Googled that right before we got on.
No.
That was a really good answer. That was really good. Dude.
No, I knew this because, you know, I'm just very curious and like,
yeah,
I do drink,
yeah,
you know, so I mean, it's under control. I mean, I'm not like out of control, anything. Like I just enjoy, you know, being able to do that. Like,
yeah,
we all make our own decisions. It's whatever. I'm also not for like getting out of control with it, you know. No. So if because it becomes problematic for people, like I don't support that either. Mm-hmm. But you know, like I've always like wondered. Like I used to go out with my buddies, and I was been wondering like, what are we even celebrating?
Yeah,
and, like we're out like every year, like we're drinking green beer, and there's like, you know, you drink like Irish whiskey and do all this other stuff, corned beef, and it's like, what are we even really doing this for?
I like on holidays. This is something I started like 2 or 3 years ago. Every holiday where I get together like with my friends and stuff, I always try to set a goal for like, what are we going to do before the next holiday? You know, like, what are we going to do before, like, if it's Thanksgiving, what are we going to do before Christmas? Like, what are we going to accomplish? You know? And if you're surrounding yourself by the top 5 people that you want to be like, right, or similar people, then you'll always come with good stuff. Right. Same thing for me. I do like to have a sip or two of an alcoholic beverage. I do.
Occasionally partake
in it. But I can tell you, same thing with you said, it has to be moderated. So if I have, you know, I like old fashions. I'm really big in like smoky old fashions right now with Japanese whiskey. It's like my jam. Okay. 2 or 3 of those, I have great ideas. 6 or 7 of those, I can't find an Uber. You know? So it's like, but it's cool. Like same thing, like just being around people. I think that's what's really about. Like having a couple of drinks around with friends, but you can still work. Yeah. People go, oh, it's a holiday, I gotta take off. If you enjoy what you do, you're never working.
Right.
you're just showing up.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Kind of like the whole Thanksgiving thing. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not St. Patrick's Day itself is not a holiday I'm like really like celebrating. It's
What's
just
your favorite holiday?
probably Thanksgiving or Christmas too. It's just
It's,
it's just getting together with people you
is.
care about and it's like spending some time, and
it is.
you're making time out of your normal schedule that you wouldn't be able
True.
to have time to. Like, so St. Patrick's, I mean, it's not as big of a deal to me now that we're grown-ups, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was times for me and my buddies to get together because everyone's like working and they got their stuff going on, and then we're like, hey, want to go out for St. Patrick's? And it's like, yeah, let's do it. And it's just more about that time of spending with the people that you want to spend time with.
Yeah, true. That's kind of funny you said the St. Patrick's. I only celebrated St. Patty's Day when I used to date younger people. That's when I used to celebrate.
And they were all of Irish descent.
Yeah, all of them. But
I don't know why that's
in
relevant.
The past couple of years, I really haven't.
Yeah,
and I don't celebrate it.
It's like I guess it's like an excuse for some people to drink, which
Just
I mean,
an
It is. It's an excuse. Yeah.
So I mean, this is not the whole point. I mean, everyone can make your own decisions. We're all adults, and we're all blessed to live in a country that allows us to have the freedoms to be able to make our own decisions.
For sure.
So I mean, if you're going to do it, I mean, do it responsibly, obviously. And then if you make these decisions, also like, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's the one night you got to take care of yourself, but then overall, I mean, like for me, I've definitely cut back on my drinking because
you have.
I have, right?
You have to, yes.
Oh. So Trent was here 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we were younger then, and we
3 years ago, I think now, dude.
might have been.
Oh yeah.
And we went out a few times, and we probably didn't use the best discretion,
Yep.
But
yeah, we did.
but we survived it. We're here.
Yeah, we are.
But my whole thing is make your own decision, but then you have to be responsible for everything
For
that
sure.
you do. Like nothing should be an excuse. Like we all consciously made the decision to go and do whatever. So I mean, if you're going to do it, I mean,
Be safe.
think about it. If it makes you happy, if it makes you money, those are my two things. Like
Yep.
to decide whether I want to do something or not.
Mhm.
If it makes you money or makes me happy, then I thought it made me happy. So I decided to do it. I mean, I enjoyed the company and all the other stuff, but yeah, I mean, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But it's something that I make my decision. I live with the decision, and it is what it is. So
Yeah.
just wanted all of you guys to just if you want to enjoy it, go enjoy it. If it's not a big deal to you, then I respect that too.
But also, dude, I'll leave. I'll
Mhm.
show up to someplace. If I'm not feeling the vibe, I'll just leave.
Oh yeah,
I'll just leave. you know?
I'd rather be at home than
Yeah.
stay at a place.
Sometimes that's the funny thing about getting old. Like sometimes it'd be like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Like maybe you had a kind of long day you're working, and it's kind of just like getting out of control a little bit. And you're like, man, I wonder if the new episode of Ozark's out. Like it's kind of funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's priorities, man. It's all priorities. Have fun, but be safe and understand your fun right now may not be your fun in the future. So you got to plan for the future. Have fun when you can, but it can't be all fun.
Yep.
It just can't. Enjoy what you do, and that's great. But you actually have to work. People forget that sometimes.
Yep.
You have to work. But sometimes it comes easy. There's times in your life where money's come easy. There's time in mine and everybody's life where money's been good, and we probably weren't working that hard. And that's what spoils people. They think money's always going to be good on a 40% effort. They're always going to get a full-time return. But in reality, it's going to come back to a part-time return.
Right.
That's why we say, like, when things are good, just keep working harder.
That's right.
Keep working harder, man. Like, I'm such a big advocate of that. You have to have accountability buddy. Like, same thing with like booking. Casey's my accountability buddy. Like he calls me like 38 times a day. So if I'm not
How many times do you pick up?
No, we always pick up.
We always pick up.
Same, that's availability, right? So we always
right.
pick up. But the big thing is like you need someone to hold you accountable. Like, yo, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You making phone calls? Okay, you're waiting on live transfers. Okay, cool. What are you doing? What's your plan for today? We always ask it, like, what's your plan for the day? That's a big thing. It's so big. Like you have to have something to go after, because if you have a good day or a bad day, you have to be able to check that off and say, this is what happened today.
Yeah.
Like this is what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to, get in front of 5 or 6 people. I wanted to, hire 2 or 3 people or whatever it is. This is what I did. And this is what I checked off.
Right.
If you can't keep a record of what you're doing, you can't calibrate good and bad days.
Right.
You're just being emotional now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like really big now into like analytics,
Right.
like what I need to do to be successful, appointments, people, whatever it is, hires, whatever. It's like you have to pour back into your business. And that's why you've grown so well in the past 2 or 3 years, because you always put back into your business.
Try to,
Always. When a
definitely.
lot of people couldn't have done that, they could have taken a little bit more in their pocket at that time and not grown nearly to what you grew, but you kept putting money back in the business. That's what we forget.
See the bigger picture. So
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, all this talk was actually just about making your choices,
Yeah,
try to make good choices as best that you can. We're all human. We're probably gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. But if you even make whatever decisions you make, whether they turn out good or bad, just take responsibility for it. Own it. And then if it worked out in your favor, keep going down that direction. If it didn't work out in your favor and turned out to be a poor decision, learn from it. Like that. That's all we can do as human beings. So, but speaking of choices, I guess this segues into the next part. You were here 3 years ago, I guess, almost 3 years.
Yeah,
you were here previously.
I think 2018 I was. Late 18 I was.
I met you at the Las Vegas conference, the convention.
Yeah.
That's when I first learned that Trent drinks.
Yes. That's when I learned that.
I don't know if you remember it, but
I remember it.
Okay,
I remember.
Right.
Here we are.
But you made a choice to come here. You had some relative success. Like you helped over 20 families a month, 25 families a month, and then for whatever reason you decided this wasn't for you. You decided to take a step away, and then we stayed friends. We continued to talk. Obviously, you have your history with Casey, and then you guys stayed friends even when you guys weren't working together.
Yep.
And then recently, how long have you been back now?
I would say like solid. I've been back probably since August.
Okay.
But I've been back, I would say, since the beginning of the year. Yeah. And I kind of say that tentatively that.
Yeah. So you made your choice to come back here.
Yeah.
So why don't you share with everyone why'd you decide to come back to FFL?
So I think if I say what I want to say,
if you have to preface it that way, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. So then I have to start from the very beginning. So for me, when I first came over to Family First, the reason why it didn't work out the way I wanted to work out in my head is because I came over with post-company PTSD.
Yeah.
Which means I just wanted to be left alone. I wanted to do my own thing. And when you do that, and you're not in a business atmosphere like an office every day, if you're not in that, you start losing control of the path. You really do. So eventually, I just kind of I actually fizzed myself out because I wasn't holding myself accountable. I wasn't trying to build. And that's the one thing I learned, building your agency is one of the most gratifying things you can do as a person to change someone's not only financial security, but their mental and emotional security along with that. And I think that was a big thing that I learned when I left the first time I decided to come back. And that's why I think that we're having, relatively good. We want to grow a lot bigger, but we're growing. It's the different mentality. I'm starting to focus on other people and trying to be available for other people and taking accountability for people that I wasn't there for. That's a really hard thing. So I think now, to me right now, it's like the tech bubble, now, but it's in this organization because it's about to blow up and people are seeing it, whether or not they want to turn their head the other way. It's going to be there. It's I use the analogy all the time. People it's if you don't like the way you look and you stop looking in the mirror, that's your first problem. So it's the same thing. So it's with this, you can turn your head, but it's still there.
Right.
So it's going to blow up. So I think the biggest thing, once again, is just because trying to influence other people and help other people grow and watching that come back and watching people physically change their life. And I wasn't doing that before. Before I just wanted to write business. I wanted to be left alone because I brought in PTSD. And that's a big thing. You have to really cut off. Don't forget your past, but you can't let your past be an anchor and you have to focus on your future. You have to say, look, man, this happened. Like you said, this happened. I take accountability for it. But I'm not going to let those past actions keep affecting my future because then I'm always going to be living in the past. And the past is the past because we passed it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we all came from the same company.
Yep.
I didn't work with both of you guys, but then we all whenever you say oh, I'm from that company, everyone's like, and then everyone I see you, I recognize.
So you dated Samantha too? Okay, cool.
But when those situations happen, it's hard to, especially if you've been there for a while, we all were there for a good number of years. And then, you come over, it's hard to shed those old habits or shed that whole thinking. Obviously we come over expecting a better opportunity.
Yes.
Because you see what's ahead of us. You see what's in front of us in terms of the comp and the training and all this other stuff, leads, so it's available, but part of us, a lot of us still think, oh, because I had some success there, I'm going to continue to try to recreate that portion here. And we all went through it. Some of us a little bit more than others. And,
well, that's exactly the thing. That's probably one of the things that I had when I first came over is that I was trying to I was trying to implement. I'm not saying don't use things you've learned.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to take your pride aside and just start blank. Like you have to start blank. Like, hey, you have to come over and go, look, I don't know anything.
Right.
I almost cursed there, but I didn't.
Good job.
But I don't know anything. And so I'm going to be an absolute sponge for the next 6 months of my life. I'm going to learn from as many people. I'm learn as much as I can. And I guarantee if you do that, you'll be successful. And you just understand, like, if you're not going to be successful at a company with low comp where you may get free leads, there's no way you're going to be successful here if you don't understand how to invest in yourself.
Right.
Like I use the analogy all the time. You buy $1,000 worth of leads. I mean, you're going to double your money at the worst case scenario. Anyone would give anybody that money. Hey man, you're going to give me $2,000 if I give you 1,000. Of course that's going to happen. I'm going to do that 3 times a day. So that's the mentality we have to, we're scared to invest in ourselves. It's weird. We're scared because we're afraid of like the unknown, but if you live your life in fear, you're basing your whole life on things you have no idea that's going to happen.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to like our previous experiences. Like, it's great that we have our experiences that we bring with us, the successes, the experiences, but we know with that, sometimes there's baggage involved in that.
For
right?
sure.
And then that's the part that holds us back. That's the part that prevents us from being able to unlearn certain parts and, you know, can't like pick up a brand new concept. Like, was that something that you focused on, Casey? Like when you came in, were you like, I was great at this back at my previous companies. I'm gonna try to do that here, or were you like, I'm a blank slate, I'm gonna try to figure this out brand new?
I mean, I think I was kind of the same way. I came in thinking I knew what I knew and I could kind of use that to my advantage here, and not really do a blank slate. But again, I had the PTSD from my old company as well. And I actually surrendered my insurance license, got out the industry altogether.
Right.
Mine was detrimental. So I eventually, you know, got back into the industry and, you know, me and Trent, we talk, you know, every day, all day. My girlfriend kind of questions, is this Trent really the Trent you're always talking about? Because he calls me so much all the time. And we talk back and forth. But again, he's really brought in perspective as far as for just the idea of having a blank slate, pretend like you don't know anything, restart the industry, because basically that's what we're doing. Right. Just like with any new job, you can take your experiences, and your knowledge, but again, also have an open mind to what's coming up next. Yeah. So I think that's the approach I'm actually taking now. We actually just had a conversation last night about, you know, I was kind of thankful for him to kind of be more involved into the business, because we both got contracting technically.
Big heart here, big heart.
Technically, we both got into contracting like July of August last year.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, building another business of his and, you know, building that up. And he was focused more on that. So I was kind of like, just kind of left out there. So kind of the beginning of the year, we reeled him back in, got him back in, and I've been doing a lot better, and I feel a lot better about the business, about it. But just having that, what he was talking about earlier, that accountability buddy.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that. Just like in life,
So
you need, you know, that moral support, you know, either it's at home or at work or wherever it may be, your real life, your work life, whatever it may be. Yeah. You need that person to bounce ideas off of, to have accountability, to be able to talk to about the, you know, a business or industry. Because again, you can talk to your significant other about the industry, but again, they may understand it, may not get it. They want to leave work at work, home at home, that kind of thing. So having that is the very key. You know, if you don't have one, just go find one. Go find somebody, start talking with somebody, connect with them. Hey, can you hold me accountable? If you do that, I can hold you accountable, and just start a relationship there. And it becomes into a partnership where, again, you can build off each other and really grow.
I think the crazy part is like, I never really understood the blank slate thing until I worked at the other company I was with. And I remember sitting there, and I'd been there like a year or two, and just a bunch of people are just complaining, like, you know, this about this and that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And there's a group of like new people that came through. They were doing really well, right? They're making good money. They're doing well. And these guys are talking about how they're garbage and blah, blah, blah. And I go, look, dude, I'm gonna be very, 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 very honest with you. No one gives anything
good
about what your opinion is. They care about numbers. Those people on paper are 1000% better than you. And the worst part about it is that you're making a decision to allow them to be better. Because think about it, you have a new person comes in who's just a sponge. They just want to learn everything, has no knowledge at all in sales, comes in writing 4, 5, 6, 7,000 a week, right? And you have people that have been in the industry for 5 years that struggle. It's because, dude, you're operating from a closed door. That person's ready to learn anything. And same thing I said with him the other day, like, when's the last time someone watched your presentation? We did to each other. So like being on Zoom together helps because we have certain things that we do that we don't even know we do, you know? So like having that blank slate is like, I encourage everyone, like, I don't care where you are in life and what you're writing, take a blank slate and just say, look, dude, I'm going to learn as much as I can from everybody, you know, and I guarantee you can do anything in 90 days, you can do in a year. 100%. You'll grow. Like you want to grow your agency to, you know, 100,000, 200, 300, 400,000 a month. Dude, it's plenty possible. Just do it and have a plan to do it and be a sponge. Learn from people that are around you. Because a lot of times people are, I think they don't want to ask like you a question. Like they don't want to feel like you're like better than them or something like that. Right. But in reality, like I want to be in a room with people, like 5 people that have way more money than I do and way more, acclimate to it, you know?
Yeah. I definitely noticed that about you the second time around. The first time, first time around, like, you still did well, but then the thing was, obviously it wasn't sustainable because you burnt out or you weren't really feeling it. But the first time around, I remember you're like, oh yeah, I got it. You were like this cocky dude. And was like, oh yeah, I got this. I figured this out. And then the second time you're like, I just want to start from the beginning. I want to act like I don't know anything. And you know, like you were like, where do I go for this? Who can I talk to about this? Like, what should I? And I was like,
that was hard for me. Like, I have to be honest with you, that was hard for me to do that because I was built in such a world where I was the person everyone went to. So it's hard for me, even when I was little, you know, it was hard for me. My father, when I was little, used to tell me never to apologize for anything, because you did it. So for me to have to come to somebody or show someone an apology or not being there for somebody and be able to do that, that's a huge thing that was a huge step as me as a person, you know? So like, I appreciate you recognizing that. Cause I call Albert. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, what's up, Trent? Well, I got to ask you a question. But no, I think it's, you know, that was big for me as an individual, like as human growth was big for me.
Well, for me, I mean, I treat everyone like adults and just, if you want to make a decision to do whatever, that's your decision. Right. But I mean, I think when someone, and I didn't look at like you were humbling yourself. It was just, you wanted to do different. Yeah. You want to do better for yourself. And, you know, you tried it another way. Now this is your way to try. So, I mean, like when you asked, I was actually happy. I was actually like, it gave me a lot more optimism and hope in what we're going to do together this time around, because, you know, if you're open to it, like we can build something really special, like all together, everyone on here. Yeah. You know, it's just, we just got to find ways to better work together. And, you know, a lot of that has to do with like listening and
well, dude, and you gotta make it known. I mean, like the thing about dreams and reality is that dreams are never spoken about. Reality is what happens. When we're little, we have all this imagination. Like we're the happiest little things running around. We have all this imagination because we have all these dreams. And as we get older, we forget these dreams. Like if I have a dream, I want to make sure the people that I'm around, they know my dream and I know their dream and what they want to accomplish. Because if we do that, we'll help each other accomplish it. But you have to be able to be like selfless and go, hey, there's not a business in the world where you don't take a short-term sacrifice for a long-term. Yep. It's not a business in the world, but like people have a hard time to go, hey, look, I'm going to invest in my people. You know, I'm not going to write business for them. Right. But I'm going to invest in making sure they're successful. I'm going to invest in time, education, and make sure I'm always there for them, availability. Right. So it's like, you have to have that. So for me coming back, that was a big thing. I'm not coming back here, you know, to, you know, write 100,000 a month. That don't do nothing for me. Not saying that's not great, but that's one step. You know, I'm trying to go to the ceiling. You know, it may take 6 months, it may take 12, it may take 18, but either way we're going, because at least you understand what I'm doing. Casey knows what I want. And me and him are always bouncing ideas. And every now and then I get a good idea. Let's go. Every now and then, you know, but that's important. Once again, like, that's why I think everybody in the business needs to have someone else there that they contact all the time and they bounce ideas off of. Sure. And you don't have to be in their upline, or that's one thing I can't stand about some people, man. Who cares what your upline is? Who cares what your downline is? Who cares if you're getting paid? Who cares if you're not getting paid? I talk to people all the time. They're not even in my downline. And they ask me questions. I'm going to help them. You know, it's like, why would I not answer the phone call? And it's like, I'm not helping them because I want to take them. I'm helping them because guess what? If I was that person, I would want that help too. Right. And not saying their upline or downline can't help them. It's just maybe they're in the middle of an appointment. They need something right now. Right. And that's the difference between them making a sale or not making a sale. Bro, I answer that phone 10 out of 10 times, as long as before 11 o'clock.
No, but the blessing is to be able to give. If you're in a position 100%. To be able to like share information and you put people in a better position, like, why wouldn't you do it? Yep. I mean, like if it's in your line of thinking, because like someone's calling you like, oh, I don't financially benefit off of this, and there's no direct like compensation that I get or there's no angle for me to be winning on this. It's like, that's very small-minded thinking. And those people, and we've all been around them, like they don't grow.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know what it is. It's just something
They
about that
don't.
aura just doesn't attract the type of success that you want around you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like one of my buddies, my buddy Raj.
Oh, Raj, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so great guy, like probably such a good dude.
Okay.
And he was at he's still at the other organization. He does really well. And, I met him 2 or 3 years ago, and I kind of helped him out on a certain type of lead and stuff like that. And he went from not saying it was all me, but he went from writing 200 to 500,000 or 600,000. Right. I remember at the end of last year, he had called me, asked me all these questions. He wanted to send me like this big, crazy gift. And I told him straight up, I said, dude, Raj, the best gift, and I know it sounds corny, and I'm going to say it, and I know it sounds corny me saying it, but the best gift to give myself is just watching you go out and get it, brother. And this is coming from a guy that grew up in the streets. Like he always, he always was struggling, and he's done so well for himself and his family. He's got like 5 kids, but like just watching him be able to change, like watching him be able to put some of his kids in private school. That's cool for me.
That's awesome.
And I could have been that guy, like, well, man, like you owe me some money, or, this guy should be coded to me, but like in all actuality, bro, the win is and that all comes back. I'm not saying I want it to come back or I need, but that all comes back, dude. I know if I do well by people, God, I'm down here still. I don't know if you know who I am, but it'll come back on.
Oh, he's watching.
Yo, he's watching. Yeah.
He's not too happy with you.
Yeah, he's not too happy. I was wondering my feet are burning. But anyway. So no, I love that, man. It's my favorite.
No, but I think, obviously you've done pretty well in investing, and you've done a bunch of other like crazy stuff in the time in between.
Yeah.
And you did well at the last company. So I think you're able to like view it this way. And I think you're able to view it this way in terms of your buddy Raj, who made that huge jump, and
yeah,
you're genuinely happy for his success rather than thinking like, oh, that could have been mine, or this should have went my way. It's like you also live in abundance. If for people, if you have that much time to focus on like, I helped this guy this one time and I didn't get paid for it, that guy should be working with me and I should be compensated for it. It's also like, what else is going on in your life? You have this much time to think about that. Mm-hmm. Like you're living in a scarcity mindset, and that's going to be like the death of your business.
Well, the big thing is like, so you can look at like big influencers out there. You look at like, Elon, and you look at Bezos, create these huge organizations, right? And not super smart people. And the one thing that they know is the fact is like those people, that the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that work for those people, those organizations, they know what they did for them. They know they treated them well, right? That's how I look at it. So I don't need everyone to know what I've done, because I know what I've done. Right. So it's like I don't need someone to be like, oh, Trent's helping all these people, blah blah blah. I don't care if you know or not. And that's why, like, even in the past like 4 or 5 months, you kind of joke like, where are you living? I've been so private on like getting good on myself. Because you can have money, you can have success, you can have all these things, but bro, if you don't go to sleep good at yourself and good at who you are as an individual, you're lost.
Right,
you're lost. All that will fade. It will,
and it's empty. It's a very empty feeling.
It is,
no matter
man.
What you have surrounding you. Like
dude, it's the most. I mean, dude, it's like I went through a tough time in my life where I couldn't sleep, bro. I couldn't sleep because I felt like I had not become the person that I should have become. And there's only 2 ways someone's going to remember you. They're going to remember you either the person that lived up to their potential or the person who did not. There is no in between. No. So you write what you want on your tombstone, homie. That's a fact. So you got to live up, man. Give back to people. Even if you're tight, give back to people. It's just get better everything with that, man.
I think that was my mom's biggest criticism of me, like me growing up. It's always like, you're not living up to your potential. You should be doing a lot more. And and like I internalized it like, what you saying? I'm failing. You say like I'm not doing anything, but I mean, I guess she's right. I mean, like now, as I've gotten like a little bit older, and you start thinking differently, start thinking about your mortality a little bit more. Like I also start to recognize like I don't have time to be wasting. Like, I'm not worried about dying, because you can't worry about things that you can't control.
Can't stop it.
So I'm just going to focus on just putting as much effort and enjoying my life and doing as much as I can while I have the opportunity, because the opportunity is not promised either. So we don't know when the time's going to come. Yeah. But I'm going to try to do as much as I can. And even if I fall short of hitting my potential, at least if I'm going after it, I'm very happy with that.
That's it, dude. You're getting after it, man. Like, even for me, is it hard some days where I make a bunch of phone calls and nothing pans out, or do a bunch of live transfers and it doesn't pan? Is that hard? It is, Ben.
Yeah,
But at
'cause
least,
I hear about those days too.
yo, dude, for sure. Dude, my neighbor hears about those days, dude. But I feel so good just going the days that I just like, I give it like 30, 40%. Even if I go and do something kind of like relatively fun instead of work, I feel like trash. So it's like, it's just like getting after it every day. Like the best feeling in the world for me is working a long day,
Right.
getting done like 8, 9 o'clock at night, going downstairs, making myself something to eat, or me a glass of Japanese whiskey, and taking 10 minutes where I turn my phone off and I don't say a word. That is the best feeling when my feet are tingling. I've been running around all day like a crazy person. I'm short, so they tingle more because I have more footsteps.
Yeah.
You know, so but that's the best feeling, dude.
Yeah, we've all had those days when we put in, I guess, yeah, you're right. It's probably like 30-40% of effort. I mean, we feel like we're doing it, but then like
go after it.
there's some negativity that creeps into our head, and it impedes our progress. We don't do it with the same amount of enthusiasm we typically would, and then we don't recognize it. So we just kind of, the effort kind of decreases a little bit, gradually, and then you don't get any results for the day. Before, when I was younger, I used to always think like, oh, what a wasted day. I didn't make any money and blah, blah, blah. Now, when I recognize I didn't get what I wanted to accomplish for the day, and then I look back and I reflect, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of cheated myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to get this day back.
Yep.
And I'm one day older. I didn't move any further, but it wasn't because of the lack of results. It was entirely because of the lack of my full effort.
Yep.
And I'm disappointed in myself during those times. And then I have a glass of Japanese whiskey as well.
Yeah.
And then
well, time's the only thing you can't. So time is the only thing you can't purchase. And purchase not mean you have to buy it, but you can't put really a value on it because it's its object. Every second we go, it's just going by. So it's like, dude, I remember just when I turned 25 to 35 for me, like that, dude, super quick. And I look back at what I could have done in that time frame, and that's one thing I had to get over my head. Like, I have a really hard time dealing with stuff when I look back at where I was at a certain point in my life, and then fast forward a year and I didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish because I made the decision not to.
Right.
The biggest thing that I can tell you, even with this business, is you have to make that decision and not just say it out loud because it sounds good or tell your friends because you want them to think you're cool. Like, dude, you need to go after what you deserve. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of people that are here that don't enjoy their job, right? That they get paid the same amount every week, and when they're behind, they're behind. They can't get ahead. They get paid the same amount. You have an opportunity here to control your future, and that's a real thing. Yeah. You control your lead flow. You control your future. That's it. I don't care who your upline is. I don't care if you buy leads, you will make money. And if you do that at the same time as teaching people and let people watch you do that, they will make money.
Right.
So it's like, it's a crazy opportunity, man. And I think people that hey, my bills are $5,000 a month, for some reason, they want to make 7. Few bills that are 10, they want to make 13 or 14. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what you talked about. I mean, people should be going out and getting what they deserve. But Casey, do you know what you deserve?
A lot more than I'm making now.
Right. I mean,
that's on me though, because again, the days that I go back and know that I don't have the results that I want, I take that 10 minutes. I don't do the whiskey, but I take that 10 minutes and kind of reflect. And it's because I didn't give my 100% that day. Right. And I know that. And again, I'm my worst critic, but I'm also my best critic because I know the day I don't go out and I'm not meeting my goals, it's all on me.
Doesn't matter what you accomplish. It's like, you ever been to physical therapy for anything? You ever like mess anything up? What'd you mess up?
My knee, my ACL.
So the first day you went to physical therapy, pretty rough, right?
Yeah.
Probably didn't think you were getting where you wanted to go. What about the next week? Probably not.
A little bit better.
No, but you're still not where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro. Where you're at right now is where exactly you need to be today. So where you're gonna go. Are you at where you deserve? No, I don't want you ever to be at where you deserve because I think you always should deserve more. So we're just going through therapy right now, brother. We're going through physical therapy. We're just getting out the kinks, and then we're going to run. But we got to make sure we work out those kinks first. I'm a firm believer in this kid. I really am. Are you younger or older?
I know
how
many years?
33, right?
Like 9 months.
Young buck.
trying to sun this guy.
Young buck. But I'm serious, man. Like, that's like, I believe I have to work with people I believe in. And if I don't believe in somebody, and I'll be honest, if I don't believe in you, I'll let you know I don't believe in you. And either that's going to work out or it's not. And if I don't believe in you, it's because you don't believe in yourself.
Right.
Like people, there's a lot of talkers out there. Like the people that are the best at this job aren't the people that you hire that tell you how good they are. Oh, I've done this, I've done that, bro. I don't care what you've done. I want to know what you are going to do. And the only reason I'm going to know that is if you go out and do it.
Or why you want to do it.
Yeah,
People
why?
tell you why they want to do it.
Yeah, the why is huge. Like people go, hey, I want to, like when I was talking to my friend the other day, she actually just came over too from her other company. And she's like, I was like, you have to set a goal. She's like, I want to buy a house. Cool. That's great. But what do you need to do to get there? Okay. What house how much you want to buy a house for? $500,000. Cool. Then you're probably going to put $100,000 down to avoid PMI. How much you have to write per month to get there and how much you have to spend on leads. That's why you have to think, because then every day, like physical therapy, right? Every day you're working towards something. You can't think about the win out here too much. I want to win these battles here and there, and then I'll get to the war. If I break both your legs, you ain't going nowhere. Right. It's the same thing. You have to go through the process first. Don't expect to be on top tomorrow, but know you will be eventually. That's strong.
Yeah, and I think belief everything starts with belief. I mean, and I used to think it was like a really corny thing when I was younger.
No, you're right.
Because it'd be like, believe in yourself. But then I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a really good thing to say and really good thing to think, but how does that really get anybody to move? But what I've come to learn in this business, and after being in this industry for 15 plus years, and just I'm constantly a student. I pay attention to people, and when people share like stuff, I listen. And I think the reason why, like, there's no one really like inherently lazy or unmotivated. It's just a lot of times it starts with their lack of self-belief, and they don't feel like they deserve anything. So the things when you say like you should go and get what you deserve, unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't believe they deserve that much. Mm-hmm. They deserve whatever experiences have beaten them down to accept.
Yeah, they got PTSD in some form, man. If something happened to them where they didn't work out their way and they can't recover from that, that's why it's like you don't have to believe that you're going to be a billionaire tomorrow.
Right.
You don't, but let's start with getting $100,000. Let's start with helping. And for me, like when it comes with money, it's like you can translate that. And if you're making good money, the way you make more money is forget about the money and start thinking about the growth. So if I go, hey, if I want to, make 20,000 a month or whatever it is, right? Then I go, okay, instead of saying 20,000, I go, I want to hire 50 people. Right. That's how you think.
Yeah, I feel like that's been my hack.
100%.
The easiest way is actually to like see how many people I can help.
Yeah, because you've always been really good at that.
I don't mean to be like corny with that either. Like you've known me for a few years now.
Yeah, this is actually probably the most deep conversation we've had.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's very weird. Very weird.
But yeah, I mean, like if you make it about other people, then the thing is like you don't like even if you don't feel like you deserve it, because I had those issues when I was growing up. Sure.
We all did. Yeah.
Grew up with my mom, and she always told me like not to do this, not to do that. And she's made me like afraid of stuff. Yeah. As she like, and you were talking about having dreams, and like it's not that we never stop dreaming. It's just that you start believing that those dreams can never come true. So you stop they're out of reach. You stop like putting it out there, and you continue to dream, and then you keep like dousing with water, right? But then you get to the point where you're just like, all right, well, I'm gonna start focusing on helping other people. Mm-hmm. If I make that my primary focus, and the thing is, I've come to learn like it could be a win-win situation. It doesn't have to be just all about giving it to other people. Yeah. Like you got to find creative ways to be able to like help them win and still be able to create the operations within it, right? And to be able to like build a business out of it. Mm-hmm. And if you can do both, I mean, everybody wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially now with like, everything's so virtual now. Yep. Like you really have to have a good system in place to keep everyone accountable without sounding like you're always hassling. Right. Like if you set the standard from it's like, you ever had a job where you got promoted at that same position, but all your friends were like the people you're working with before it ever happened to you? Mm-hmm. It is physically impossible to get them to listen to it because the standard was not set of like what we're doing. So if you get a group of people, you have to set the standard up front. Like this is our schedule and this is why we do this schedule. Not because I'm telling you, but this is why we're going to do it and why you're going to be successful off this schedule. And you have to be really, really good at that on Zooms and stuff. And like, I remember like for me, dude, like on Zooms and stuff, like end of the day, we'll take a shot or something like that. I mean, dude, it's just, you have to be able to do that. Like once again, drink responsibly, like the commercial. But no, we have to do that. We have to create that culture and we have to be so much tighter with it now because we don't have that physical interaction. Like there's people that, work for you in Chicago or North Dakota or wherever, like there's people all over. So we have to create that community up front. It has to be the standard. Right. And if someone's not in that community and they don't want to be in that community, you have to figure out why, because that's your fault. If someone doesn't want to be a part of you, that is your fault, not theirs. Right. That's something that you're doing. It's like if someone doesn't buy, then you just didn't get the value 90% of the time. It really is. You have to look at yourself.
Right. Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, you can't just be promoted to a position and expect people to automatically.
Yep, you can't.
So the thing is, we have to constantly earn on a daily basis, you know, that type of respect. Either you're going to get the results, and this is why this type of work is so great. It's all based off of meritocracy. If you can't generate results and you can't make the income or continue to move up, I mean, people can luck into a certain position or a place, right? You can be like, all right, this one windfall came, but the thing is, how do you keep moving that forward? That's the skill that you got to continue to develop.
Yeah.
And then you can't fake that.
No, dude, that's just constantly staying on it. That's the big thing. Cause we all get comfortable. Like we all do. But once again, I mean, you can say, okay, well, you know, you have money, so it doesn't matter. But like once you stop focusing on the money, then everything starts getting a lot better and you start focusing on the process and the people. You know, because at the end of the day, like the reason why people are here is because people are happy.
Right.
Okay. No one leaves their job when they're happy. There's people that get offered more money, but they're happy. Right. They like their culture, they're getting paid enough, they're good. That's why I'm always a big fan. That's why people are here. You pay your people good and they stay. That's the difference. That's the difference between us and other organizations. You can have Sean Mike making triple, quadruple, more than that, double or just crazy amounts of money more, but he didn't choose to build it that way. He built it on taking care of people. And that's why it's grown, you know, from 2014 doing 11 million that whole year, doing that in a week. If I remember that statistic correctly.
That's correct.
That is correct. That can be shared.
Because they shared it first.
Yeah, they shared it first. But that's what I'm saying. That's the cool part about it. And that's why it's easy for me to interact with people because number one, and we talked about this earlier, like if you're not, I don't care where you are, if like you're not in the field a little bit, like, dude, you got to hop in the field, man. Unless you're like, you're doing a million or 2 million or even that, like just hop in the field every now and then, because then like you get it. It almost makes me laugh. Like Casey would call me like, you know, this, that, and other, had a bad day. And I'm like, dude, come on, bro, you'd be fine. And then I hopped on and I was like, dang, dog. You know, so we call, you know, I call them back up and then, you know, we get back on the same pace and then we fix it and then it's all good, man. Like this job is not physically hard, dude. We could be out there, you know, working, doing construction in this hoodie at 90-degree weather, sweating up. You know, that could be happening, but we sell insurance. We sell a necessity product. Yep. That's cool. What other product can you sell that's a necessity? Name one that someone is guaranteed to use. What is it? Can you name one? Anyone name one on top of your head? Life insurance. The only one, dude. It really is.
Got us stumped.
It really is. I was stumped too. I was trying to think of one. I was going to say some stuff I couldn't say. But yeah, life insurance, it really is. If you have that hard, if that's what it is, dude, life insurance, you're guaranteed you're going to die.
Right.
No one's figured out that equation, you know? So that's why it's great, man. And we get paid, you know, very well to do it.
One of the biggest things for me is I'm a big visual person. I can write it down all day long, but I have to like see it. So when I talk to like new agents or just people in the business, I relate it to something they can actually picture themselves in. Just like we were talking about earlier, PTSD from the old company. Again, you can relate that to life or, you know, relationships or anything like that. If you have a bad relationship and you're trying to go into a new relationship, you can't, you know, hinder on what happened in the old relationship or it's going to affect the new relationship. Just like in life. I mean, you know, we all grow up in, you know, different neighborhoods, different styles, different, whatever it may be. But again, that's not an excuse for us. We use that as an excuse to not get where we want to be.
Right. And
in this business, it's first all about mindset. Like again, you can learn products, you can learn leads, you can get to where you want to in investments and stuff like that. But it's all about your mindset on where you want to be, and just know that you can do it. And again, don't let your past hinder you from getting where you want to be.
Right.
And then also, I mean, one of the things kind of while you guys were talking, kind of hit me. And as you notice on like my IG and my posts, a lot of my content's motivational. And I struggle, and a lot of people struggle between, you know, what a manager and a mentor is.
Right.
And just like me and Trent, I mean, obviously I look up to him as a mentor, but again, there's some things I'm stronger than he is, and some things he's stronger than me. But like we both see each other as mentors. So again, your mentor doesn't have to be your upline, or it could be somebody, you know, the same with you. It could be somebody below you. That again, it's just a mentor is somebody that you can learn and grow with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like my mentor in my old company, he would call me and say, you know, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, okay. Well, what can I do to help you? Like, and that was his line. It wasn't like giving me advice or trying to bounce ideas. You know, I'm going to do this. We do this. What do you think about this? It was more the mentorship was a manager calling you.
Right.
And I think we all have the mentality of the employee mindset is we always wait for somebody to tell us what to do.
Right.
And in this industry, you can't do that. You have to go out and get it.
Right.
And again, that's a big thing in it where you have that, the buddy system, you have that mentorship where again, it's not just up and down, it's sideways, it's back, it's
That's so
all
true.
around. So again, having that to push you, and like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without, the few,
Trent.
this guy. Funny story is I'm the one that actually brought this guy into the industry.
I know, remember you told me.
I hired this guy off of Craigslist of all places.
This dude
No, you're done.
This guy hired me on
But-
Craigslist. He was like driving down a tunnel when he called me, and he's like, "Hey, Trent." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up? This is Casey. I'm calling. You apply. I need you to come in the office." It's like it was that quick, and before I know, it was
Is that how it went?
yeah, it was very similar to that. It really
Yeah,
was.
pretty much.
And he said, "Oh, you're from Virginia?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I'm from Va Beach." And I was like, "All right, dope, dude." And then went in there, and then yeah, he's the one who actually physically got me in to hire me. But Casey's right, bro. Like it really is. Like it has to be sideways talk. There's definitely certain things that I don't know, and that's something we talked about. That I had to work on.
Yep.
That I ask him questions like, like how do I do this? How do I do that? And I know that he can give me a reliable answer, vice versa. And I know he's really good. He's always been really good at like products and like just admin stuff. Like he just finds all these different ways of how to do stuff. It's crazy, And for me, I'm like the dude that just like likes to push. So like I always have good ideas, new ideas, but without him, bro, I don't have a foundation because we have to bounce off each other. You have to be able to say, "Hey, man, what do you think about this?" Just like the other day when I called you on, it was funny. I made that script up, and I called him. I was like, "Yeah, I need your opinion on this."
Yeah.
And Albert's like, "Yeah, you should listen to this guy."
No, you ran by me and I listened.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean, there was parts I'm kind of like, it feels like it's unnecessary to try to reinvent the wheel in certain aspects of it.
the point is like it's that realness to it.
Yeah.
And for me, if I had too much pride, I would be like,
right,
forget this. And what I do, I went and watched it.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
right, and it gave you ideas, right?
Yeah, and then like if you actually look at some of the content we filmed today, a lot of stuff I say is from that presentation.
Yeah.
Like I am the most non-original presenter available. I take stuff from everybody. That's how it should be.
It's smart,
Dude, I learn stuff from everybody, man.
And it goes back to the whole blank slate thing.
Yeah.
Being a sponge, soaking up information and be open-minded because everybody's good at different things. But again, if he wasn't open-minded, he would have sent you that script. Well, I think you need to change this. Well, no, it's good because I wrote it. That's all.
the original Trent would have done it.
Trent would have did that. Yeah.
He would have called me and he would have been like, "What do you think about this?" And I would listen. I'd give him some feedback. He's like, "Whatever, I'm doing it anyway."
Yeah. What was I always say? I always say the same term. Like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If I ever tell someone, "I'll figure it out," that means F off. I don't care about what you're saying. I'm going to do whatever I want. Keep that in mind. I'll figure it out. That means just I don't want to hear you anymore.
The old you would have been like, "Well, it sounded pretty dope to me. I'm gonna
That's what I would have said. That's what I would have said. 100%. That's what I would have said.
But I think that's a great point about the whole mentorship thing. I mean, the thing is, we all need to put our ego aside at certain points. If you want to grow, you can't have a big ego or a big business, right?
Yeah.
Sean talks about that all the time. So the thing is like, and having a mentor or subjugating yourself to take mentorship from somebody, it doesn't mean like this person, like you're below this person. Like they have aspects of their business that you want to learn and you want to get better at, and they're doing it. You should take that advice. You should see how you can incorporate that in. But if you're constantly fighting it because your ego doesn't allow you to receive any of that, you won't be able to apply it, and you'll continue to stay in the same position.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a firm believer. Like people run their downlines different. We all know that. Different spreads and all that stuff. Leaving two things, man. High comp, high success. I'm gonna give everyone the highest comp I can that I have available. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And if some people want to be upset about that, that's cool, bro. That's just how I run it. And that's how I want to run it. Like I want people to know if they're working a 10, 12-hour day away from their wife and kid, that they know they're getting paid the most money they can to do that.
Right.
That's a pretty cool feeling for me.
Right.
I'd rather take less money in my pocket and put more money in their pocket, because guess what? Positive news spreads like weed. Right. It really does. Negative news does too. You ever read about Yelp?
That does too.
But I'm saying, like, once you create this positive atmosphere, bro, like in paying people well and always keep bringing people at high comp, I probably bring people in higher comp than I should. I probably do, but I'm like, bro, if I have the room, we'll do it. And that makes them feel good, and then they know they're taken care of, and they're going to work harder in those bad days.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll add a caveat to that. I mean, bad news or negativity spreads like weeds. Like,
oh God, it's like herpes.
good news on the other hand, or good news or positivity. Good news or positivity, it can also spread, but not necessarily everywhere, because the thing is, you have to surround yourself with the right type of people for that to actually
correct,
to foster that type of environment for it to spread.
Yeah.
Because if you're positive around negative people, they'll somehow find a way to drown it out.
True.
Right. So I've been very blessed, and I recognize this is part of the reason why I've been able to grow and have a little bit more success than the past. Positivity does spread very quickly around me because of the fact that I'm surrounding myself with positive people.
That's so important, dude.
Right.
Even when I came back, like as I came back, it was a big thing for me to work with someone that I had a certain amount of belief in. And then I knew that could demonstrate integrity even when things were not great. That's why I came back. And, I came back and I worked with you because we had that history. And we didn't have just history when, things were great. Like, I went through kind of a bad spot. And this dude called me like 2-3 times a week to make sure I was good all the time, and that's why it goes to show you, man, it gives me goosebumps, man. I appreciate you. But like, surround yourself by good people, man. Life's going to be okay. It may not be good today, it may not be good tomorrow, next month, or 6 months from now, bro. If you keep on getting and surround yourself by positive individuals, it's like wearing a dream catcher, bro. All the good stuff.
Well, I mean, we're getting a little short for time. So I mean, we had some practical stuff for you guys, but these guys are here filming content all day long. We'll be releasing that soon. So if you guys want to reach out to them for specific stuff, you can also reach out to them on their IG pages. Send them a message. These guys are more than happy to help.
The money moves. Jarratt Financial.
Well, you're always going to actually put that in.
Okay, it's going to be there. It's going to be physically done there. Okay.
But that was much more emphatic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but before we let you guys go, if you guys have if anyone's out there, they're brand new. They're still on the fence about how much they should dive into this business, or someone's hasn't quite joined us yet, but they're looking into it. What would be your guys' piece of advice for them?
I would say that you put as much as you can into it and still be able to live. Like I watched someone else's Instagram story the other day where they're like, "Hey man, I got $3,000. I got to pay rent on the 1st, the 20th. Okay, you pay rent, you got nothing. Take that $3,000, take a risk on yourself. Right. It's going to be okay. Huh? Hey, dude, hey, man, let's not get too deep in this story.
Living above his means.
But what I'm saying is that, like, dude, you get what you put into it, man. And if you go in there, like, scared and all that, then you're never going to get where you want. Once again, you have to be a sponge and surround yourself by good people. So if you surround yourself by good people, ask as many questions as you can and teach yourself first in the smart way. Invest in yourself, education and sweat equity first. Buy yourself a butt ton. So good at this cursing thing. A butt ton of CRM leads, right? Get a bunch of them. Get on the phones. You're going to be horrible in the beginning. That's awesome. You're going to get better. Once you get better, then you're going to go one call close. Once you get good at that, then you're going live transfers. Then you have that comfortability. But you have to get on the phones. The phone is your lifeline, dude. I don't care how you look at what type of leads you do. Your phone is your lifeline. If you love being on the phones, bro, you will make a ton of money. So that's my advice. Love being on the phones. Look at your phone the same way you look at your bank account. My advice.
All right. What's your case?
Kind of to big piggyback off that.
Good idea.
I mean, it all goes back to, your mindset. Have a clean slate. Whatever you think, forget it. Just go after it. Go to work. Kind of like one guy that in our old company used to say, you just got to go do the work. That's really all it is. Treat this like
you know about Denny?
Yeah. Okay. You're independent. You work for yourself, but again, you still have to treat this like a job. You have to clock in, clock out. We had this conversation earlier. You still have to put in the hours. Now, the good thing about being independent is we can set those hours. We can go, whatever time we want, but get your 40 hours in, put it in the work, and just go get it because it will work. Give yourself 90 days. Whoever's your moral support, your wife, your kids, whoever you have at home, whoever's dependent on you, let them know, hey, I'm going to be working for my business for the next 90 days. If you need anything, don't bother me. I mean, obviously do what you need to do, but just let them know that you're going after your goal. You're going to take 90 days to go do it. Just go do the work and results will happen.
Yep.
Real simple advice. Trust the process and do the work.
That's it. That's it. It's not recreating the wheel. The thing already spins.
Yep. Well, I appreciate both of you guys coming on. Had a real good time talking to you guys. Hopefully next time you come out of your shell a little bit more.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I did pretty good. I think I only said 2 or 3 things that I shouldn't have said. But you know,
I mean, the camera's not rolling the entire time, so I mean,
well,
so,
then
so
I'm good.
as we said earlier, the day is young.
The day is young, brother.
So, but I appreciate all you guys getting on. Hopefully, this is helpful for you guys. I got a lot of really good stuff out of it, and just hearing how these guys are getting after it. I mean, like, it's always inspiring to me. You know, hopefully some of that transfers over to you guys. So let's go out there and continue to help as many families as we can. Continue to grow your business. Continue to grow as individuals. Let's go out there and be elite, guys. Appreciate you guys.